Hey everybody, it's Joey with Journey Instruments, and I have the absolute pleasure of being here with the daughter of Olympus herself, the goddess of lutes and guitars. I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course, thank you.
So let's jump in, and I've got some. Let's start out with over under the game over under.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so steel yourself for some hard balls. But we're gonna start out easy. Snowy weather, over or underrated?
Underrated. Underrated. I feel like it's underrated because it makes everything beautiful in this like the surroundings. I would rather have if I'm gonna have a cold winter, everything is prettier when it's snow covered and less dead looking. And I just think that the snow gives a very peaceful and magical feeling, and I'm always gonna feel like it's underrated. I don't know if that's enough of an argument, but that's what I'm gonna say.
That's great. That's great. No, that's perfect. Okay, so you, I believe, recently moved to Texas, or like it's been maybe a few months or a year now, or something like that.
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
Okay, so I have to hit you with this one.
Okay.
Whataburger, over or underrated?
Oh gosh.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Okay, I've only had Whataburger like twice. So I don't know if my opinion is very like valid on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think, don't hate me Texans, I think it's overrated.
Too greasy for you?
It's just like, I don't know, it's just not like my thing, I guess.
Totally fair. That's totally fair. There are no wrong answers here. Well, to some people there might be some wrong answers. To some real big Whataburger stands, there might be some wrong answers. But with no judgment from this side of the camera, just put that
Appreciate
out there
that.
for me. Yeah, absolutely. This is a safe space. Okay, Marvel movies, over or underrated?
Oh, Marvel movies? I feel like most people would think that they're overrated, but as popular as they are, I love and enjoy them. I'm going to go ahead and just say that they're underrated. I don't know, I just really like them. I'm not like, I don't know, I'll never get like sick of like seeing like the newest Marvel movie. And I even like when they remake, like they've made so many Spider-Man movies, but I always just like end up watching the new one that comes out.
That's great. I appreciate the positivity of that answer. Yeah, a lot of people get stuck on the oh, there's just so many of them, but there's a lot of them, but they're all kind of different, right? It kind of
They
stays
are.
fresh.
They are. And I think they're always really well done. That's what I appreciate too. They're always super well done.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. This one might hit a bit of a sore spot for 2021, but Nam.
Oh, Nam over underrated.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if it depends if you'd have to categorize like different aspects of Nam. I would say I think there's parts of it that could be overrated and parts that are underrated.
Right. Like the drum area is probably overrated no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Sean Daniel and I had to talk about this, how like that might be what hell actually is, just being in the drum section of Nam.
Yeah. I think the parts that are really underrated about Nam is the connection that you could make with people. Like, I mean, that's what I love about Nam is that you can actually, like, all the people that you see on the internet and all the brands and everything, you can meet all those people in person. And that's always going to be one of my favorite things about Nam. So I think in that aspect, I feel like it's very underrated. And I love that feeling of like going and meeting people. And then all the stuff that branches outside of Nam, like all the meetups and things that happen. And so I'm gonna say parts of it. It's like half and half.
Cool, that works. I think that most of us could probably agree with that. What about road trips? Are they overrated or underrated?
Underrated. Definitely underrated. I always love about road trips that like you get to see more of like all the little things you wouldn't see if you fly, and like I love how obviously convenient and quick it is to fly, but there's just something about like being behind the wheel and putting your favorite playlist on, and I just like I don't know. I really love that. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Michelle. We need the definitive answer from you. You ready? Is Taylor Swift
No, don't do that.
overrated or is she underrated?
Oh man, this is not fair. Like obviously she's like the biggest like musician like star in the world right now. She's huge. She's an icon. And so but I am one to defend Taylor Swift like a sister, and I'm gonna say that I'll never think that she's overrated. I'll never get sick of her. I'm always gonna feel like in a way she's underrated, no matter how pop she goes or anything like that, because I think it all just comes back down to like and where I became a fan of her in the early stages, and I just always love her songwriting no matter what genre she is. She's just, it's interesting how her mind works, and that's one of the, I think, just such a special thing about her is that like she can do any genre of music. Like I feel like that is such an underrated thing. She can do any genre. Like literally, if she wanted to go rock, I'm actually crossing my fingers for a rock Taylor Swift album. I think that'd be so badass. And she'd kill it. She would, because she's actually done some of her songs in a rock type form on stage before, and it's been really cool. So Taylor Swift, I'm still gonna say she's underrated. Anybody can argue with me.
Let us know in the comments. Yeah, Taylor Swift album featuring the Foo Fighters. I'd be here for it. Sure.
Oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
Okay. All right, we can all breathe easy after that one. That was kind of the tough one. Let's cool down with a couple easier ones. Vinyl records, are they overrated or underrated?
Vinyl records. I've never actually like collected vinyl records. Actually, Cody collects the vinyl records, which is really cool. So I've kind of like semi-adopted his collection.
Okay.
But I think there's like an underratedness feeling about it. I think it's the way that you look at it, and I feel like it's, I guess, an underrated type thing. It's cool. I don't know. They're like, I'm looking at them right now. We have them. That we actually have a Folklore Taylor Swift one that I'm looking at right now, and I like having them around as something to look at and appreciate. It's kind of like how I still have all my like CD collection back home at my parents' house, and I loved collecting those because I love looking at the linear notes, and I know with vinyls, you know, you get that same kind of thing. So I'm like kind of a nerd where I love to like read all the little details, and so for me, I'm gonna say it's underrated.
Nice, yeah. And I think there's also something to vinyl records being this, like, listening to a record is sort of like this, it harkens back to an old time when listening to music was the thing you were doing. It wasn't like you put on music in the background while you're playing games or doing something else. It's like, hey, you want to come over and listen to records? And you would like put it on, and you have to do the needle, and you have to sort of like be present, you know?
Yes, that I like what you said about that, like just being so present in the moment, because I think today we're just like multitasking all the time, and yeah, music is definitely like most of the time pretty much always in the background, but I love that it's like, yeah, when you would like put it on, you have to be very like, you have to engage with the record player, you know,
physically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so last but not least, do you think that this is over or underrated? Because I know this comes up a lot for you especially, but spelunking into a deep and ancient cave to uncover its secrets, following the treasure map that your old mentor left to you on their deathbed. Is that over or underrated?
That's an interesting question. So basically, like a treasure hunt, is a treasure hunt over or underrated?
I mean, I know you've been through this multiple times, Michelle, so I just kind of wanted to get your, like, definitive take on...
Yeah,
where
you
they're-
know, because I would say anything that is an adventure that leads to some kind of treasure, and you have a map to follow, you have a quest in front of you, I would say that is very underrated. Like, that's not something that everybody does or has the opportunity to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And my respects to your dearly departed mentor who left you the treasure map as well. Sorry about all that. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching that video, guys. We got more from our interview with Guitar Goddess coming up soon, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell and, you know, all the YouTube stuff and everything. And yeah, we'll see you next time.